Right back to like why you liked it. Yeah. This was T.I.'s year.
Whew. I mean, this album had everything, man. He was keeping it trap, but at the same time he had a couple singles for the club. And he adjusted. He kind of evolved as a businessman. This album is kind of like a bossing up album. Like, yo, I'm owning it. I'm the king. What you gonna do about it? And T.I. King, man, that's my number 5.
This did for him what Volume 2 did for Jay-Z.
Exactly.
The big sales, the number 1 album. Right. This put him in where, like, if you didn't really know T.I., you knew him because of this. This launched him into superstardom. Right. And they had the ATL movie around the same time.
ATL was right after that, yeah. Because, I mean, he had urban legend, trap music, but those were like hood classics. This one was more like sophisticated and like great production. And, you know, like I said, man, I love this album.
Yeah, that was the first T.I. album I ever heard. I never followed him like that. Yeah. In the battle of Luda and T.I., I was always more Luda. But I own this album. Like, once I kind of got out of my own way, I do like this album. This didn't make my 5, but I have it, like, when I made my 10, I thought it was one of the best top 10 albums of the year.
Yo, but before we proceed, like, Little Flip was my dude before I even knew who T.I. was. And I was banging Little Flip when the Houston scene, the Clover G's. I had all his little mixtapes. And then
Right.
T.I. just murdered him. I was like, you know what? I'm going over here now. Like, I never do that. Like,
didn't they actually have an altar, like a physical altar? They actually fought, right?
Yeah. T.I. what the Houston looking for?
T.I. about it.
Looking for a leprechaun.
I remember that album cover.
Yeah. What about what you got, Ray? Your number 5.
So my number 5, so good pick with the T.I. I mean, like I said, I wound up. I definitely had T.I. in my top 10, but my actual number 5. This might seem a little controversial because at the time, this album would have probably been an arguable top 3 spot. Mm-hmm. But my number 5, based on where I'm at now with my ears, is Doctor's Advocate by The Game. I think a lot of people might have had him higher. Mm-hmm. In 2006, I might have had him higher. When you think about where he was, he had all the hype, the G Unit beefing. Mm-hmm. Can he make it on his own? He's not with Dre anymore. He's battling back against G Unit in a way that no other nemesis of 50 had ever done it. Right. And he was once on G Unit. So he drops this album. He has an incredible ear for beats. I mean, beginning to end, like an exceptional ear for beats. He can rhyme. The name dropping, I'm not gonna lie, he may say that's his style or whatever. I think it's a little corny after a while. Yeah, Don't tell him I said that, because I think he's legit about that life. But yeah, this is enough. He tells stories on this one right here. Old English. The girl who was in a car with him called Astray. Like, he can do introspective. He does the gangster stuff. He did stuff for like the club, One Blood. I thought this was a standout album, and this is arguably his best album. It's pretty much between this and his debut. He could rhyme. He knew how to pick beats without 50 or Dre in his corner. And he debuted number 1. But stats aside, I listen to this album now. It's perfect for the car. And this is a quality album. This album has aged well in 10 years. In 10 years has passed. That's my minimum to determine whether an album is a classic or not. I'm not saying I think the album's a classic, but I think it has aged well. And he proved that he worked just fine without G Unit.
Agreed. I mean, I ain't gonna spoil it, so I'm just not gonna say no more about this album. That's
what I know. Because I think people would have had this higher, and justifiably so, is what I'll say.
Yeah, got you.
I mean, that One Blood was so hard.
Yeah.
By itself. I mean,
yeah. I
actually forgot about the album until I was doing some research, and I was like, man, this joint is kind of like, it could be on there too. It could easily be like, if we were allowed to tie, I could do that in my top 5 just on One Blood alone. That was so hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just when that beat starts with the hook, and then he went and did the "We Are the World" remix version of that, where he had every that song was like 11 minutes or something like that. He even had Ja Rule on there at the very end, and everybody's like, "Oh, Ja Rule's back! Ja Rule!" Yeah, he did that remix. Yeah, I think the only reason I think he may have stalled on this album in terms of hitting his sales mark on the first album was he's a lyricist. I don't think Game isn't necessarily a hit maker, but he knows how to make an album. He just, the only thing that you could argue that was missing from this album was like the How We Do and like the Hate It or Love It.
Yeah, he
didn't have that. Bangers. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Concerned about that though.
Yeah. No, instead he invested and made it a great album, top to bottom. Yeah.
We all at with it, man. Y'all number 5.
Number 5, I'm gonna go Let me see. And my list has been juggling before we got to this segment, but I think number 5 for me was Lupe's Food and Liquor. Thought it was a phenomenal album. You know, he was almost kind of like how we were looking at it. He was deemed like, okay, here's this new quote unquote backpack rapper who's going to bring real hip hop back. That's how a lot of people kind of, you know, viewing him prior to his album. You know, he had like the first 15 mixtapes coming around. Mm-hmm. Started had that strong buzz moving. I thought it was a good album. I think for me, and I think he knows that because he fixed it well on the second album. Cool. I didn't think at times it was like rounded where it needed to go direction wise. Mm-hmm. You know, some of the content. You know what I mean? So because the bars were there. But like sometimes he drifts so much to the left, you're like, okay, what are you on right now? Are you talking about unicorns? Like you just talking about doing some hood stuff right now. So when you talking about, to me, he fixed that with the second album, Cool, which I think is the best album. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but I mean, it was a feel good album. You know, he had Jay on here. This is a big year for Jay as well because that's when he came back. You know what I mean? So
we're in the 4-5.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He's still wearing that 4-5.
Yep. Never got back 23.
Yeah, still wearing that 4-5. But I mean, this very, very solid debut album for him.
When they said it's getting late here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. So we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push.
I had this right beneath the game.
And away he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick.
Well, you guys last night, this was like, okay.
Where you at, cuz? You're number 5.
Alright, so I hope I don't get in trouble for this. So for my list, man, y'all got 2 good ones that I was really debating on where to put those.
Like father, like son?
5. So 5 for me is going to be Hip Hop Is Dead. I mean, I'm not going to be biased just because, you know, that was my first joint. I mean, it was a good album, and I think we could have. I mean, there's a lot of different directions we could have went. The album was kind of all over the place sonically, you know. So to me, it was some bangers on there, and it was like, you know, it had a lot of big name producers, but I didn't feel like the producers gave their actual best that they could have gotten. Like if you look at those producers that were on there, did you get the best Kanye West beat on there?
No.
Did you get the best Dr. Dre beat?
No.
You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So, I mean, but to me, it was still a good album. It was the first album on Def Jam, first album we heard in a long time. It was, to me, definitely an upgrade from, like, The Last Disciples and those albums.
Right.
So, you know, it was a good album. You know, Nas is always sharp. Let me just be clear. He's always sharp or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, number 5. I think that was the 5th best album.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that beat right there.
Yeah. This is the hardest joint. But I think the theme of this album, I was so with him though. Like I was so with him with the theme of the title, and honestly, this album could have bricked. It didn't matter because he had everybody talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he made.
Oh, absolutely.
He upset so many people, and I don't want to say too much because you know, but. Like you said, he got everybody talking. He got under people's skin, and that's what music should do.
Right. Yeah. Good Nas album. Yeah. But yeah.
Yep.
5 is. I think 5 is pretty good. I think that's where it should be. With the rest of this stuff. So I'll go with 4, and man, my 4 pick is not even.
Wait, did you do 5?
Yeah, my 5 was King T.I.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go Dilla, man. With actually Dilla had 2 albums this year. And The Shining, and he had Donuts. And Donuts is my number 4 album. This album is ridiculous. Like, first of all, he's one of the only producers where I could just listen to your beats. I don't need rap on it. Sometimes rap makes it bad. Like, I just want to hear your beats. And, you know, Dilla described the Donuts as like just like little small little instrumentals, 50 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. And in that small time range, he could just like go for broke with any type of sound. And I bang this today too, just to make sure, you know, if I still get that same feeling. And you know, I feel it even more now than I did then. And so my number 4, man, I'm going with a guy that don't even rap. Like, you know, he didn't rap on this. Dilla Donuts, you know what I mean? One of the best to ever do it, man.
Is this the album that he also had a beat for? Is it called One for Ghost? ghost ones. The
Yeah,
on fish?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And by now, a lot of rappers have used some of these beats.
Okay.
Yeah, like Busta got a couple of them on Diligence.
Yeah.
But and I know why. I mean, you being a producer, I know you can just appreciate those kind of beat tape albums.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I mean, when I heard Donuts was coming out, and then I heard what it was, I was like, oh, this is like an instrumental album. I thought I was dreaming, like, when's somebody gonna rap? And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And like, there ain't too many people who could pull it off. Like, Dilla's beats are like complexly simple. If I have to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think you just hear some drums and a sample, whatever, but when you actually either listen closely to all the sounds he has, or if you listen to the sample he sampled, you're like, well, I don't even hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely on my Rhapsodies for inspiration.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. That's my number 4. Mm-hmm. Y'all laugh with it, man.
I was still juggling. I'm gonna go with Busta's Big Bang with number 4. I thought it was a good comeback album for him, and out of all his albums, and Busta's always been one of those consistent rappers. Never had a bad album. You might say he never had a real great album either, but he always had an album that you can listen to pretty much front to back and say it's a solid production. I think with this one, sonically, production-wise, I think it might have been his most complete album.
With it.
It's the most cohesive album.
You know, easily. You know, I mean, Dre had some influence even outside of Dre. You know, Eric Sherman on here, Skills Beats, Q-Tip. So he had a nice lineup on there, collabing with Nas on here, Missy blessing it. I think he was very focused on this album. I think he wanted to really prove that, you know, I'm my top tier MC. You know what I mean? He had his bangers on there, but he had his own the spit. Only complaint I would say on his album, you know, he did start getting into the cocaine rap. Like, okay, but
like
you weren't
really do.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Not saying that you were in the streets or weren't doing this, but
he cut off the dreads, man. He lost his god bodiness.
Pretty much, man. He traded the 120 to the 85. You know what I mean? But I mean, overall, though, I thought it was a very good album. I thought it
New York shit was amazing.
New York shit was amazing.
I always let that play when that comes on.
I felt though at the time, I don't think I ever got the right promotion.
No.
You know, especially with him being on Aftermath at the time, you would have felt that okay, well let's at least put a song that Drake produced as maybe one of the singles, which never happened. You know, it just didn't.
Once again, Swiss Beats gets shined to do something on the record when he should be doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he also had the controversy. This album also got pushed back a lot because this is around the year that his bodyguard got killed, and he didn't want to talk to the police.
Yeah.
So I think that was also stalling. Like when this album, I think this album would have been a little bigger because the hype was there when Touch It came out.
Yeah.
It was. I thought that was a dope single,
especially when the remix came out. Yeah, Eminem on BT Wars.
Yo, the DMX on the remix. They had the girls on there. They did all that. But by the time this album came out, it lost a lot of steam. But this is definitely, I agree with you. Like, this is his most cohesive album, like easily.
Yeah, that's my point right there.
All right, Ray, you last.
All right, my number 4. I'm gonna go with Philly's own The Roots, Game Theory.
Yeah.
This is another one. Like I said, I revisited at least 10 albums for this year recently. And I placed this one above Doctor's Advocate for the simple fact, like Doctor's Advocate is, you know, like I said, it's a real easy listen. When you have The Roots and you have, you know, Black Thought on the mic, he's just a stronger rapper. You know, I know he's not the only rapper like on the album, but you know, he's the main rapper. Yeah. He's just a stronger lyricist. With this album in particular, you know, you get you know, some of the introspective stuff. You get some of the politically conscious stuff, and I'm not always, you know, necessarily like I don't listen to every album. Yeah, you know, 11 Million Children, Arm Riddling, like all of that. They have the tribute to Dilla at the end. Actually, the intro to this album is a Dilla beat. It's called like Dilla-tastic. It's like a weird, like the compositions of just like the beat. I don't even want to call them beats because this is a band. I think it's very fluid throughout the whole album. And the lyrics, they're not boring. And these are lyrics that will stand the test of time versus just your cliche gangster rap album, you know? So this album, to me, even 10 years later, I still think was one of the gems of 2006. And this was their first album on Def Jam as well. Same year Nas came out with his first Def Jam release, they did too. And I thought this album is a great listen. It's got lyrics, it's got beats.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, man, that album had everything that you looking for, man. Sonically, it was a great album. Like you said, it's live music.